Hey gang, it's Jeff from Photo Finish Restorations, and on this episode of Muscle Cars and Hot Rods, we're going to see if we can't get our GT500 quarter panel replacement finished up. So check it out. Okay gang, we're back on our GT500 project, and as we can see here, I've gone ahead and taken some notes where we're going to start to prep for our flange, because I'm going to lap this. We're going to prep for our flange here. I've still got to remove this little insert, and right here is going to be the toughest little part. Don't get me wrong, this flange right here is going to have a little bit of filler. I cannot hammer over that edge perfectly without it. But if you'll remember from the first part, this wheel tub was a little bit beat up here from the impact of the collision, and so that has to be pretty damn straight in order to flange over, or to pound over this lip and not get some kind of weird wave thing happening there. That's going to be our challenge right there. That'll be the biggest challenge. But other than that, we are planning on pulling this quarter panel off and getting all our holes punched for our plug welds. Okay, this here is the Roper Whitney punch. And what I like about the little Roper Whitney punch is it comes in a kit with many different size holes that we can do. And you don't have to sit there and measure for depth on it. You can get the depth that you need for your plug weld, that is from the edge of the panel, and this little adjustable fence right here will allow you to set it where you need it and go ahead and cut and get all your plugs done, or your holes punched. But let's see, you might have little areas where they're in different spots, so pay attention to that. So I started banging around on this and got it pretty close, and got my contour gauge and straight edge out to check it out, because you want it straight, but it actually has a bit of a curve to it, so you need the contour gauge. Right now I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with this threaded striker plate that's in there. You can see I got a bolt and a magnet holding it into place. Not quite sure what the thought was there, but somehow I got to get the quarter panel on this car and be able to melt everything down, so we'll figure that one out. Right now we're just going to begin doing some punches. Cleaning up the back side of the welds, getting ready for welding, and getting ready for our copper weld. We'll spray this down in any areas where we can't get some epoxy into. And so something that I've recently learned and like is I'll take a little coffee stir, like a small straw, and I'll dip that into some epoxy and pull that out and let that flood down into the spot primes, or into the plug welds wherever I can, because I haven't found an easy way to weld around this. It seems to really spatter and spark and all that, so, but you need your corrosion protection. So we've got our 2 coats of copper weld down in all the vital areas, and I'm going through and test fitting it one last time, and I still got to bring the wheel tub out ever so slightly in here. So I believe all we've got to do now is get it back off, make that couple adjustments to the wheel tub, get our adhesive in, start clamping it down, and get it ready for weld.
Squeezing it out. Told you to put heat gun on it.
Okay.
It's now or never.
We're gonna work the wires for a second, and I've got to work this, so we got to get up here first.
Really?
Yes. I don't know if this makes any sense to anybody, but it was something I was an idea I was kind of brought upon, and I went in gonna give it a try. Where this is lapped over the pillar, I went ahead and completely stitch welded it, and then I went up, you know, I ground it down flat, and then I went up and did every other one, and now I'll go back and make sure I clean the heck out of those with the wire wheel, and that is supposedly gonna make my transition between the lap of the quarter to the top a little bit smoother. Okay, so we had a YouTube user, Messy Laura, ask a question about how stuff looked down in the pinch welds, and I could think you could tell that this car is pretty much kept in the garage since brand new. You know, here's where it all bolts on to. And as far as when you get used panels to check for mill thickness and previous body work, this here panel was actually provided by the owner of the vehicle. Now, with all our welds ground down, I went ahead with the DA 80 grit, and I feathered out all my finish edges, including on the Eco and the original, on all the spot welds and everything. And up in here right now, up in our section repairs, I went ahead and I've welded and I've welded and I've welded to make sure that I got no pinholes. But where I come from on this is I'll go ahead and I'll put a little bit of fiberglass in there. Do I need it? Probably not. But is it cheap insurance? I think so. I mean, it's just one of those ways that I can minimize anything going wrong in the future. So I'm gonna go mix up a little bit of short strand fiberglass, get that on there, get it ground down, and we'll be ready for body filler. Oh yeah, and just because I'm crazy up there, double check and triple check everything, we went ahead and threw the deck lid up there, and it looks like within, just by throwing it on there real quick, everything was looking decent, so we'll be good there. I'd rather find out if something didn't fit at this point than after it was painted and ready to go. So we got the door all fit and everything good too. So we'll go get that short strand on there, get that spread. Well, just got done knocking down all our short strand with 80 grit on the DA, just the foundation in there, just a little bit of cheap insurance, and now we've gone ahead and spread our plastic filler on. Got 80 grit on my sanding block, and we're just, it's just set, it's just light, so we're just kind of knocking it off. And we'll finish out all these spots in 150, and I'll probably go ahead and glaze it just to make sure it's extra nice for the painter. And there it is, the filler's all sanded down to 80. We're gonna go ahead and glaze it so I can try to make our painter like us again. Remember, when we glaze it, it's all right to get a little bit of glaze up here, but you can't be trying to fill, where are we? But you can't be trying to fill 80 grit scratches. There. Hey Chris, you want to go over some of the cool features with these tires on this frame machine?
Well, the fact that you can drive it up backwards up the frame machine.
Wait a minute, you're backlit. So yeah.
You like being able to back up the frame machine without spinning the tire? Never done that before.
Yeah, and we were using some boards and everything because it's so low. We wanted to clear, so it wasn't just a matter of backing up. It was back up, stop.
Slowly.
Also, the fact that we pulled it.
Yeah, never tighten the chain on the other side.
Had it tied down with a chain.
Plenty of traction.
Never tightened the chain up as we were pulling it over. Of course, it wasn't a real hard pull or nothing. Although we got after that pillar pretty decent.
Yeah, got the post up off of its wheels.
Alright. Let's see. What else? Good. This was a good one. We need more of these, so send some more to us.
Keep wadding them up down there at Indy Motorsports.
Yeah, people were asking, and I didn't feel like divulging. Is that somewhere we want to go? It was an accidental brush during a race.
Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin is racing.
And you gotta keep it shining.
Especially when you got a GT 500. So, like I said, we'll glaze that. So yeah, get glaze on there, get it all finished out in 150 for the painter. And that was that. I'm sure we'll get some shots as we're like driving it over to the paint booth or driving it out or getting it back together so you can hear the motor. Sounds pretty healthy. We're gonna go ahead and end this one right there. Catch you on the next one. And have a happy Thanksgiving. Got a good fit on the door. The gaps are tighter than heck on these cars. Chris did some custom fitting of that door handle over there into the panel. When we got it, it was just bolted up to that little J hook spot with the square and circle. But he went ahead and hooked the guys up so he could have it look a little classier